Alright guys, what's up? I'm back. It's been like 8 months since my last video, so pardon the janky setup. We're here in kind of my basement garage office. I'm using a little condenser mic that normally sits up here on the desk. And some little lights from Amazon. I don't even have a tripod. My camera is literally sitting on a pile of backpacks, a chair, all that stuff. So this is just very casual, and I think in future episodes, obviously, I'll put more time into the production. But I kind of just wanted to hop on here and kind of address where I've been. It's been like 8 months. And I really wanted to get back into YouTube. I wanted to put my best foot forward a year ago, but life happens, and I got pulled into things both with my personal health and the things that I've been really focusing on there, my family, but most of all, probably building Film Lab and being an entrepreneur, being a filmmaker. That ended up dominating my time last year and really ended up pulling me away from putting the time and attention into YouTube like I wanted. I kind of wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about like where I've been, what I experienced last year, and then talk a little bit about what I'm up to now, what I've got cooking, and where this channel is going. Last year, what I really focused on was building Film Lab. It was building this production company that I've been working on for the last 3.5 years. If you're not familiar with what we do at Film Lab, we're a video production company. We mostly currently focus on commercial campaigns for TV, for social. We do a lot of ads as well. And my day-to-day role is I'm the creative director. So I kind of oversee all the projects that are going on at Film Lab. And my job is to make sure that our quality is up to snuff, that our team is getting the support that they need, the creative direction and guidance that they need to be able to pull off these projects and campaigns at a high level. What we're doing at Film Lab, like when it started out, we were doing these $5K, $10,000 jobs, but we're getting to the point where we're doing $30,000 jobs, $50,000 jobs, $150,000 productions. And when that is happening, there's obviously even more pressure to make sure that everything goes smoothly, that we're able to execute on our creative vision, and ultimately that it's able, what we're creating is doing for the client what they need. So that's kind of what my day-to-day looks like. When I'm not focusing on client work, I'm focusing on putting things out about Film Lab. I write our newsletter. We're working on our show reel. We did a spec piece for On last year that I'm very proud of how that came together. And we've just got a lot of different initiatives internally that we're working on, apparel, all that good stuff. So I really love that side. I love brand building. So when I'm not building other people's brands through video production, I'm probably tinkering and building Film Lab. You guys don't need to hear any more about that, but that is kind of the big side of my life that just kind of dominated my year last year. But what I really did also focus on was trying to like grow and develop as a director. How can I be more creative? Can I get back involved in the creative process? How can I work on my writing? How can I really start to think outside of the box? How do I challenge the status quo and what we're used to doing in productions, and how do we try to make everything unique? So that's another big part of what I was really focused on. And I got to shout out my team. I get to work with 2 of my brothers. I get to work with my sister. I get to work with some of my best friends, Mike, Danny, Branson, Josh. Like, the team has continued to grow. Obviously, we've got Taylor, Malone, Keanu, Nate, Austin, who's doing our YouTube series, Lab Takes on Film Lab's channel. Like, there's a lot of amazing people over there and a ton of the collaborators that I get to work with on a daily basis, which I just love. But that's not why we're here. That's not what I'm trying to talk about. I want to talk about, like, that's where I've been and kind of what things are looking like for 2025 and kind of what my intention is with myself personally and how I want to grow and develop, and also what the future is going to look like for this channel and the types of things I'm going to share. So last year, if you guys look at my last YouTube video, you'll probably see that I was a little more round. I was a little more inflamed. So in the last about a year, I've lost 35 pounds, almost 40 pounds. And that kind of came about because one day I heard the thought that how you do one thing is how you do everything. And I realized that me not taking care of my health is actually impacting me so that I'm not really taking care of and doing many things and not really fulfilling the potential in many other ways. And I realized I was just in survival mode. I would eat like garbage. I wouldn't sleep very well. I rarely moved my body, and I was constantly overworking a tired brain. But I realized when you're constantly outputting and you're never inputting back into yourself, to your own health, to your own physical, spiritual, and mental well-being, then you're going to have a really hard time outputting good things back into the world, in your work, in your relationships, whatever that may be. And I realized that's kind of where I was at. I wasn't creating things I was extremely proud of. I wasn't enjoying what I was doing every day. I felt like I had very little energy to give to my amazing wife, to my kids, to my friendships and relationships with family and friends. I wasn't able to output like I should have been. And what I realized is I stopped and took note for a second, and I just looked at my life and I looked at myself and I said, I've gained weight. I feel mentally foggy. I'm just low energy. And when I realized that, instead of in the past, I'd always made excuses for, well, I feel this way because X, Y, and Z. Well, I know that I have a high cortisol because of this business that I'm building, or I'm not getting enough sleep because we have a young kid to wake us up, or whatever it might be. And I stopped making excuses for the first time in a long time. And I just took some personal accountability. And I said, I'm in this situation because I don't take care of myself. And when I looked myself in the mirror and I made that realization that I'm in this situation because I put myself here, it started changing everything for me. So I decided to start eating more healthy. I decided to go out for a run because I could always talk myself out of the gym because it's a 10-minute drive there. Get in, work out, another 10-minute drive back. That's at least an hour, if not more, of my time. And I'm like, I don't have time. So I removed the excuses and I just walked out my front door and I would go for a 10, 11, 12-minute run. And it would take me that long to run a mile. And I go run a mile and I come back. And when I did that, I started feeling momentum. Okay, well, I just ran. I want to eat a little bit better. I want to be a little more mindful about that. I want to make sure I sleep and rest and recover. I'm going to try to get enough protein, all these different things that I'd been kind of neglecting for a long time. I started building momentum as I would run, as I would eat healthy. It would roll over into the next good habit that kind of promoted the lifestyle and the physical well-being that I wanted to experience. I started seeing results. I started dropping weight. I started getting excited about it. I started doing a lot of research, and I got super into running culture. I was following UVU. I was following Team 247. I was following Bandit, Satisfy Running, and particularly I was following personal stories. One of the people I really enjoy following is Nick Bear with BPN, and his stories really inspired me. I connect to him because I'm a man of faith. I am a family man. I'm an entrepreneur. I love creative, and he's all of those things. But he also, on top of that, and he's way busier than I am, finds a way to do Ironmans, to run ultras, to do marathons at insane speeds, weight training, all these things that really inspired me. And I looked at him, I looked at all these other people as I was getting into the culture. I was like, I want to be a part of that. I want to do that. Because I'm an entrepreneur, as I exist in a space, as I get obsessed with something, and that's really how I feel. I got obsessed with running culture. I decided I wanted to start my own. That's where I'm really excited to kind of share what we're cooking up. I'm not a runner who is super fast at this point. I'm averaging 9-minute miles. If I'm doing just 1 mile or so, I can run it in 7. I'm not an impressive runner, but I'm getting into it and I'm falling more and more in love with it. And I decided that I wanted to start not just a brand that sells products, but I wanted to start something that pushes forward a mission that is inclusive. Because in many of the running clubs and communities, I felt like they were crazy athletes. They had all the cool gear. They knew everything that they were doing, talking about. And at the time, I was more of an overweight dude who was mentally stressed and, didn't have the energy or time to do this very well. And I was intimidated. And so I wanted to make a brand that was more inclusive, that stood for a mission and stood for something. And as I've been trying to figure this out and how to pull it off, I ended up connecting with my friend Lucas. Lucas owns Black Box Media. He owns Creative Dads Club. He owns Onset Black, some really awesome brands. He's somebody that I looked up to. So I was like, hey man, I'm thinking about doing something, starting an athletic brand, particularly focused on running. And And he's like, no way. I've been getting into running, and I told myself the next business I start, or if I start another one, it's just going to be more in the athletic side of things, because that's a huge part of my life. And so I just said, hey, would you be interested in partnering up and building a brand? This is kind of what we stand for. Let me read you guys kind of our mission and our vision for Dead Last and kind of what we've workshopped here. Our mission is to empower runners of every level by providing contemporary apparel and fostering a global community that champions human evolution through running. Kind of wordy, but that's kind of the goal. And I haven't said the brand name yet, but you probably guessed it seeing it here on my chest. The brand name is Dead Last. We wanted to just kind of play on the fact that that's probably where a lot of our community is going to start. If they were in a race, they may start dead last. But just because they start last doesn't mean they're going to finish there. It's all about progression. It's all about growth, because it's a brand founded by men. We want to focus on helping men progress and grow in every area of their life. And the way we're going to help facilitate that is through running. Now, we pulled on two of our other best friends. Wes is another incredible guy. He lives out in South Carolina, Greenville, with Lucas. They're kind of the East Coast side of the business. And then my best friend in the whole world, Danny Garcia. He works with me at Film Lab, and he's one of the people who helped inspire me to want to start running again, because I hadn't since high school. And he's an incredible athlete and an even better friend. And so again, we're not just a running apparel brand. Yes, we're going to sell apparel, but we're also going to do community runs and events. We're going to give out workout and training programs. We want to help facilitate spiritual, physical, and mental well-being. And that's kind of our goal, is continual evolution and growth. I digress. I'm talking a lot, but I'm really excited about Dead Last. Now, Film Lab is still going to be my day job. It's still going to be getting 100% of my time and attention and focus during the day. But because I can't sit still, and I love the idea of building something and building a community around this running thing that I'm so passionate about, Dead Last is coming soon. And it's going to be coming probably this next month. So March 2025. We're going to be doing some launch events here in Utah, as well as in Greenville, South Carolina. And we're going to also obviously be launching online. So the initial stuff that we're doing is kind of more just general oversized clothing. We have some oversized tees. We have a cutoff tee for lifting and training. We also have a hoodie. The things I'm really enjoying right now are our performance socks. They're so comfy, and it's our first line of performance things that we've created. But we have a lot of really cool products in the pipeline that are more on the performance side of things. Anyway, guys, I'm getting long-winded, but as you probably can tell, I'm extremely passionate about this. And I mostly just wanted to sit down and share all this with you guys so you kind of know what I'm currently working on and what I'm excited about for the future. Now, for the future of this channel, what can you expect to see? What am I going to be talking about? Where is this all going? I'm going to be continuing to document and tell the story about my growth and progression as an entrepreneur. The two things I'm obviously building are number one, Film Lab, which fulfills the creative side of me, the side of me that's a filmmaker, and it's my core competency and something that I've been doing for a decade. On the other side, we've got Dead Last, which is starting from the ground up. We're just getting going. I've got a rack of our clothes here and things, but I'm just excited to kind of share this journey. I wanted to give you guys this update, focusing on the entrepreneurial journey, but also just the things that I'm passionate about. I'm going to be sharing. I'm going to be talking about personal development. I'm going to be sharing my own health journey and the things that I'm learning and the way I'm growing, and how, as I'm focusing on my health, it's positively impacting my creativity, my ability to be a good businessman, my ability to be a good husband, father, and friend, how it's impacting me spiritually, all these good things. Basically, this is just a little docuseries on my life. If that's not interesting to you, that's okay, because I'm making this for me and the one or two of you who might be able to be positively influenced or impacted by my story and the struggles that I go through and the experiences that I have. That's what we got going on. This is day one. How often I'm going to be uploading, I'm not quite sure, but I'm going to be getting back at it, and I'm excited to share this journey with you guys. So anyway, thanks for tuning in.